So first off, whenever it gets less than 768 pixels, right, we want it to display down below, right? So the first thing we want to do is do a media query, right? So someone give me the media query. I say at media max width, right? 768 pixels. Makes sense to everybody? Okay. So right now, the display flex is on which element? Which one? Container, right? Because we're displaying its child elements in flex, the H1 and the nav, right? And what's the default flex direction? A row, right? However, we want to stack it on top of each other, so we want to tell it when it gets less to that screen size, we want the flex direction to be what? Column. So we'll say dot container flex direction column. Make sense? So reload the page. Boom, pops down to column. Okay? So now, I'll move this over here. I got too much going on here. You go away. All right. So now we have all these list items displayed flex as well, right? Right? So what's the parent element of the list items? The UL, right? And so we have display flex on this UL, and the default flex direction is row, and we want them to stack on top of each other, right? So we're going to tell the UL to have a flex direction of what? Column, right? And I'm just going to add it right here, so we can give them both the flex direction of column. Simple as that. Now if we reload the page, they're displayed stacked on top of each other. Nice and simple, pretty cool, right? The beauty of flex. So just to someone tell me how I can align all this in the middle. So there, for the text, it's just text, right? So we can just do text align center. So we can just tell this container here, since it's all within the container. Yeah. So why is this not centered? Can anybody think of why?
Where's your CSS?
My CSS is here.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying, yeah. So looking at this, why is the text not centered? Right, so the container still has a width of 1,020 pixels. So technically it is centered. It's just, imagine this page to be 1,020 pixels. So it's centered, just half the page is off the screen, right? Or half the container is off the screen. So this is what Julian was doing earlier when he set this max width for the container. Or we could set an explicit width down here for the container, right? Saying like, I don't know, 500 pixels or something, right? Or we could do like Julian did and say max width 1,020 pixels, or 1,020 pixels. Guess that's the same thing. So this is saying, you know, don't go wider than 1,020 pixels, but as soon as that screen comes in, then you can just go to auto, which is the full width because it's a block element, because it's a div, right? So we save that. Reload the page. We got it all working nice and easy. The other things you can do, just like stylistically, is we can just grab this box shadow and give the H1 and each list item that box shadow, as well as you can give the H1. We can do padding on the bottom as well. So that way, padding top and bottom 20 pixels. And boom, we have it like that. It looks better if you do this box shadow at what he had it at earlier, CE, 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 and CE, CE, CE.
What are the settings on box shadow?
It's shorthand for left, like left,
Horizontal, vertical,
like
radius.
off-centered left, yeah, off-centered horizontally, off-centered vertical, radius, and color. I don't know how to say that better. Like, so like, if you say like, so it's horizontal, vertical. I think it's like the shadow distance, radius, and color. So like, if you do 2 pixels for the first, it'll be 2 pixels below the container, right? If you do negative 2 pixels, it'll be 2 pixels above.
It only
Stuff
applies
like
to the bottom?
Well, the first number is bottom.
Okay.
The direction. You mean like where's the starting point?
Sorry, I'll play it and see what it does.
It's like the entire box, right? So you imagine the shadow being underneath it, right? And we can't see the left and the right and the top because it's at the top page and it covers the full width of the screen, so we can't see the 2 pixel radius all the way around it. Does that make sense?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, when it comes to max width, so whenever you change the screen size, the container, the width automatically adjusts?
Yeah, so the parent element of the container is the header, which we gave it, well, we didn't give it anything, right? And then the parent element of the body is naturally full width, right? So container, if you don't say anything to it, it's naturally full width of the screen, right? Because it's a block element, so it takes the full width of whatever parent element is, controlling that width. And since none of its parent elements have been specified width, it goes the full width of the screen, right? So when you do max width, it's saying, naturally it's the full width of the screen, but then once you get above 1020 pixels, it stops right there, right? So then once everything below that, it'll be full width. Does that make sense? Yeah. I explained that? Okay. All right. So we have that. Let me see what's next. I'm going to push this for you guys. Responsive column flex. Sync. So what I want to do, show you all real quick before lunch, I think we'll have time to do this, is like drop-down menus, okay? So I want to put, we'll just say under features, okay? Say I want to put a list here. So I want to put a list with, we'll just say 3 list items, okay? And what's a feature? Good courses. Great teachers. Cheap. All right? I don't know. You can get more creative than that, right? Now, to style this, what I want to do is I want them to go, I guess I'm going to have to get more specific on all this stuff. So I want anytime there's a unordered list within a list item, okay? I want it to, I want its list items All right, where did we change the display? I actually haven't done this with Flex yet. So actually, let's take a quick 5-minute break. I'll get this right, and then I'll explain it to you what I want to show you.